Mackenzie. Okay.
Hi.
Nice outfit, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm curious, how's fight week been for you in camp leading up to this? Because obviously, New York City is kind of a beast unto itself. It's not really any cities like this in the world. So how's fight week been treating you so far?
Good. I just got here yesterday, so a lot of media. Took me like 6 hours just to get like to my room. Just doing so much stuff, but that's what it's about. It's like being here and if we're not in the media and answering questions and letting people see who we are, get to know us a little bit behind, the fight and the fighter and our lifestyle and kind of who we are, then it doesn't matter just to go fight and no one really knows anything about you. So that's only hard just to see like, New York cheesecake and pizza and all the food and stuff like that. We were just talking about that. I'm like, man, I wish I could eat, but definitely thinking about that. And yeah, it's good.
Has fighting here in New York in Madison Square Garden, was that a goal for you at all coming up?
Yeah, definitely. Like, even before I was here to see Cheeto when he fought Frankie Edgar to support him. I saw Rose, Zhang Weili. But even before then, like, man, this is like the most famous arena in the world. So that was always a goal of mine to fight here. And after my last fight, I asked for a former champion. So it's kind of like they kind of gave me everything. So now I have no excuses. I need to do good.
When you asked for a former champion and they came to you with Jessica, were you surprised that that was the name, considering like you're on this role and she's on 3-fight losing streak and she's fought a lot in a relatively short amount of time? So were you surprised that she was the name they presented to you?
No, I mean, I know she's down to fight, and since I saw her accepting a lot of fights, they had offered her to me like last year, but it was a short notice, and I had said no. So when they offered her, like it was something I expected. Like, yeah, she's accepted. I'm seeing her during the year accept these fights. I had asked for Rose, but then Rose had gone up a weight, so I still think I think it's even a better matchup for me, Jessica. Um, and I know that, I mean, she had a full fight camp for this. I know she's coming off 3 losses. Everyone's like, oh, do you think she's going to be kind of like dismotivated? I think if she's anything like me, she's going to be super motivated, like no one wants to lose 4 times. A loss just pushes you to like try and get better, especially when you have a full fight camp. I'm just hoping like 5 fights in a year takes a toll on her a little bit, but everyone knows she has knockout power. This is like a big test. She lost to like Tatiana Suarez, who's undefeated. Yan, who I know exactly those punches of Yan. She punches hard. I took a couple of them in my fight, so she's not easy. And then Erin, who, has good grappling, good striking, so future like prospect kind of thing. So she didn't lose to anyone, that's not up there, you know what I mean? So it definitely doesn't take anything away. I know she's gonna come totally motivated for this fight. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping for like Rose or something, but Jessica's still at battle, and I think it's a good matchup for me.
Well, speaking of that, like the 3 losses that you brought up, like you said, they are to, future title challengers and undefeated fighters. So do you think like us as media and fans are looking too much into those 3 losses in a row, considering who she did lose to?
For sure, especially like short notice fights, you know what I mean? Kind of, um, yeah, definitely. I think, and just with the way that things have been going, I don't think I could only see is like just it taking a toll on her body, physically and maybe mentally draining, but um and I mean I think she fought like a Erin who's jiu-jitsu but has striking, Yan who's a striker, and then Tatiana who's like wrestling and southpaw, like she fought 3 totally different types of fighters, and she's been in the UFC like 10 years, you know what I mean? Even we're basically the same age. I feel like she's like way older with how much experience she's had, so if you've had like 5 fights and her first win with Lauren this year, Lauren Murphy in Brazil that I watched too, I was there. She did great, so it's like she's still there. She's still like got this, you know what I mean? And I think that she's going to come with, I don't know, strategy. Everyone knows that she goes into the fight, but I think going through the 3 fights, she was submitted twice and knocked out once. I think she's going to come with a little bit more different fight plan, probably still going for war, always walking forward, but I definitely think that she wants to like take my head off. She wants to like kill me in this fight. And I think she's going to be like really intent on me taking her to the ground.
Well, you mentioned 2 of her last 3 losses have been by submission. I would imagine that you like this matchup even more, considering your skill set.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since like, you know, Tatiana isn't really like a jiu-jitsu girl. I mean, she got her black belt, I think, on that fight actually on after, but I mean, that's not her base, you know. And then Erin, who she did good striking with her. You know, Erin was striking good with her, and when she did take her to the ground, you know, I didn't see her jiu-jitsu like too effective, you know, of Jessica. So definitely that gives me like more confidence. I mean, all my fights, everyone knows that it's the easier route for me is to the ground. The hard part is to get it to the ground. But like I said, I'm usually the fighter that's chasing. And like Angela, my last fight, she kept coming forward, and Jessica keeps coming forward. So I think that's really going to give me like opportunity to showcase some different things and just me evolving as a MMA fighter.
And fighting a former champ was top on your list. Obviously, you wanted Rose, and then you've got Jessica. How far away do you think you are from getting a shot at the title?
I think it definitely depends on like how I win this fight. If I win a great finish, you know, knockout or submission or something like that, I think, I don't know, maybe I could cut the line. You know, I know there's Tatiana Suarez, I know Young Xiaonan, but maybe I could cut the line if I have a great win. But I think if it's a close fight, you know, and then probably another maybe one or two more fights to get to the belt, and if I lose, then it's a restart again.
And you know, you said she's still a dangerous opponent regardless of the losses. How do you see this fight playing out in your mind?
I see a finish for me. She's a tough opponent. She's someone that, you know, you can't make a mistake. That's why I think I was so hard on myself during this camp, because I felt very emotional during the camp, just wanting everything to be perfect and feeling frustrated, and then kind of going back to bad habits, you know, trying to go in and close the distance, and, you know what I mean, doing things that I did like maybe 4 fights ago kind of thing. And I'd be like very emotional, because in my mind I'm thinking, I just can't be emotional in this fight. You know, I need to be strategic. I need to be smart. I need to make sure I don't get into the dog fight with her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down for the war, you know, the battle, you know, exchanging, striking, everything like that. But I don't want to be in that dog fight that I know that if one, all she needs is one, you know, all she needs is one on the chin, and then the fight's over, and then I don't even have any chance to make it work, you know what I mean, and pull out a victory somehow, you know. Even like when I throw a kick to the head and I fall on my back, and then the girl comes in and then I submit. I mean, it just happens, you know what I mean? So it's something that I don't want this fight to happen. I don't want to just, you know, I don't want it to be an accident. I want people to see that I know what I'm doing, and I can, even though I have a lot of emotion when I fight and stuff like that, I have the control, you know, the self-control. And I think like the champions, that's all they have. They have that self-control, you know, and I don't think I can be like a boring fighter, you know. I don't think it's in me. So just try to stick to the control. And when I got to that in jiu-jitsu, that's when I became champion. So I feel like I'm getting to that now.